In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about understanding your ideal client and their behavior on Google. Welcome to the Up in My Business podcast with me, Lex Lancaster, where you'll get an inside look at all things tech, business, and my life as a physical therapist turned digital operations expert. You'll hear all about my lessons as a business owner, the ins and outs of tech for your business, and more. From SEO, websites, and email marketing to automations, launches, and copywriting, I've got you. I'm so excited you're here. Let's dive in. As always, before we get started, I want to take a few moments to highlight Up in My Business's show sponsor, Jane App. Jane is a clinic management software and EMR designed to help you run your clinic and prevent no-shows. One of the most common reasons for no-shows is forgetfulness, so bolstering your communication is key to helping your clients show up for scheduled appointments. With Jane, you can create effective reminders that include appointment details and clear instructions on how to cancel and reschedule. You can also choose between a text, email, manual phone call, or a mixture of all three reminders depending on what works best for your clients. You'll love not having to remind your clients, and they'll love getting a little nudge about when their appointment is. If you're curious to learn more, head to jane.app/payments to book a demo with a member of the Jane team. You can also use my code LEX1MO. Again, it's LEX1MO over at jane.app/start for a 1-month grace period on your new Jane account. Welcome back to another episode of Up in My Business. I am Lex. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, thank you so much for listening. I will say that there are people who I get on calls with or even blogging boot camp with, and people were saying that they had listened to all my podcast episodes, and it makes me feel incredibly helpful in a way that, like I said, when I first started this podcast, I had no idea I could be helpful in this way and if it would be helpful for people. So I am always just really grateful when people tell me, hey, you help me on this audio platform of yours. So thank you so much. If you listened to last week's episode, you know that I made a little oopsie, kind of, sort of. Basically, I just pre-recorded last week's episode thinking that it would be the one that I would need that I'm recording right now because I'll be away. Or Shantae and I will be away, so I won't be able to record this upcoming weekend. So anyway, that was a boo-boo, but also it's fine. I did not change it. Once I realized it was a boo-boo, I was like, well, I will just record on Monday then for next Monday. So here I am recording an episode for the Monday that you're hearing it because Shantae and I will have just gotten back from Pennsylvania from visiting her family. So I wouldn't have been able to record for Monday. So getting it done now. Today's episode, first, obviously, I'm going to start off with quick little life and business updates, and then I'm going to go into a topic about understanding your ideal client and what their behavior actually is online. So first things first, personal stuff, really nothing new. If someone hadn't seen Shantae and I in probably 8 months recently and asked what was new, and we were like, oh, same old, because literally it's the same old. So same old, literally nothing too crazy. I will say that July, this is like business and life, but I'm very happy that I shut down my schedule for new clients in July. I don't want to say that my plate is full, but I am still feeling like it's not summer. I feel like I'm still kind of going. So I'm happy that I shut that down. I thought I'd have a little bit more time than I do, but it's fine. I'm managing it, and I'm probably going to be a little bit lighter in August on top of being light in July, or lighter in July as well. I don't hate the fact that people have to wait. I understand, I wish I could be of direct service to everyone right away. I am working on a couple things that will hopefully deter people from waiting months for a discovery call to talk about a website template. So if you're someone who's wondering about websites, going to be probably creating a resource on that and a video that I'm just going to put on the website so that way people can take action right away instead of waiting. I find that that's something that's going on. So we'll be working toward that. But other than that, personal stuff, really not anything new. I'm looking at the schedule, like my personal / business schedule, the next couple months. And it's crazy as far as like I have X's where I'm not working, and it's basically, you know, vacations, or we have volleyball tournaments coming to town, something like that. And I mean, it's a lot of days. So I'm not, like I said, I love the way that I structure my schedule because I can have the flexibility of adding extra stuff onto a Monday or adding extra stuff if I need to on a Wednesday. And my call schedule is pretty, you know, flexible. But just feeling like I'm really happy I front loaded the beginning of the year so that I could take a little bit of a break now and in August, and then really just chug through the end of the year, which it's so crazy to think about the fact that it is almost, I mean, we're well past halfway through the year, and it's just wild to me. Yeah, it's just wild. Business stuff. The big thing that I want to just say is that are two things. The first thing is the Blogging Bootcamp Masterclass is officially available for purchase. So if you want the recording, it's 4.5 hours. The feedback that I've gotten is great. Like I will shamelessly plug Blogging Bootcamp. Honestly, the content that I presented, the amount of content that I presented in that is just out of this world. The feedback that I've gotten has basically been like, this has been the best thing that I've ever invested in. I feel confident in writing blogs. I know exactly where to start. I know how to do the thing. And we're going to talk a little bit about that in this podcast episode. And then I'll make sure in the show notes, I will link Blogging Bootcamp there so you can go ahead and purchase the recording. It's just going to live on my website as a masterclass recording now. It's super helpful for me because now I have a resource for people who might not have the capacity for SEO school or just want to, you know, get started. I am planning on giving people who enroll in Blogging Bootcamp a discount for SEO school. I need to figure out what that looks like, but I do plan on doing that because part of that content is part of SEO school. And I want people to, you know, if they want to learn more, they can go on to do more. And if they don't, then they don't. But I am planning on doing that because it just makes the most sense. So yeah, really, really happy with how that went. It was supposed to be 3 hours and ended up being 4. And then I recorded a bonus section the next day. And it was long, and I'm very happy we went over. It was fun. Some people stayed with me for the full 4 hours. There was a woman named Lisa who was there from Cape Town, and she was starting at 1 a.m. and then we got done 5 a.m. her time. So she literally pulled an all-nighter to be there. And I just special shout out to her if she listens to the podcast. I'm pretty sure she does. So thank you so much, Lisa. That was just incredible to know that someone was pulling an all-nighter to be present in a live masterclass that I was running. It's just, no one prepares you for the moment that people do something like that to be present in something that you're hosting. And I don't want to say it feels good. I'm just completely honored. Like that would be the feeling that I would want to use. So that's one announcement. Blogging Bootcamp is ready for purchase if you missed out. And then number 2, I have on my schedule, I have 1 August, 2 September, 2 October, and I think 1 maybe November date for Do It in a Daze. So if you're looking for a new website and you want me to help you do that, a done for you website, done for you SEO optimization, let's see, August, September, October, November, I have officially 6, potentially only 5 dates open. So if you're looking for that before 2026 or holy smokes, I'm going for a whole other year ahead, before 2025, make sure you grab one of those dates. The way to do that is to schedule a discovery call. If you have a discovery call booked with me, obviously you are already on my quote unquote list. So we'll talk when we talk, but only have 5, potentially 6, open. So wanted to let you know that. All right. That's really all I wanted to talk about today. This episode, like I said, is going to be about knowing your ideal client and what they search for. I don't think it will be long. I just want to give the lowdown on like what this actually means. So I am currently looking at my phone because today I'm trying to post a reel about this exact topic because I was working on a client's work for the month, one of my retainer clients, my SEO retainer clients, and I am giving her blog post topics to focus on for the next month. And when I do that, I go through and I see, okay, what are the most valuable keywords that we can use? Because I don't want people, I'm never about people wasting their time. I want people to essentially sit down and write long form content and have it matter, right? So mattering can mean a lot of different things to us. First off, if you are struggling to just create content at all, my biggest suggestion is to just start. It's one of those things where you can perfect it, at a different time. You don't need to perfect it now. And if you are struggling to just start, the last thing I need is to create an extra barrier where you don't do it at all. So for me, I'm like, well, okay, let's see exactly what we can do with the information that we have, and then we'll go from there, right? So if you're someone who's, you are ready to create content, you want to create content for your website, you want to write long form content, ideally we're creating content that actually makes sense, right? One, for our ideal client, is this a problem that they have? Are we able to provide a solution for them? And two, are they actually searching for that thing? So today I was, doing potential topics for the next month. And in my mind, I was like, oh, this would probably be a great topic. And lo and behold, with the software that I recommend, I can see that 0 people are actually searching for that term, right? So what that means is that if I were to optimize my content for that specific keyword, I'm likely not going to get found on Google because no one is searching for that thing. So when we think about that, it really kind of just gives us perspective on the fact that, if I do this with no strategy, I could be sitting down and writing a blog post. By the way, the standard amount of time that it takes to write a blog post is 4 hours. So you could be sitting down, writing this big, long post, this long blog, long form content, and then potentially not be seen for it because you're using a keyword, a term that no one is searching for, or your ideal client is not searching for. Now, I personally would never want that, just because I don't like long form content to begin with. Long form content for me, do I want to get better at it? Yes. Do I want to change my attitude around it? Yes. Have I accepted that I need to do it regardless? Yes. I've started blogging myself. But it's one of those things where I'm hoping over time it will just be easier. But if you're someone who is coming at this with an approach of, I have limited time, I want to make sure I write things that people are actually searching for, and also you might not love it, I 1000% hope that you would sit there and say, well, I want to make sure I'm doing this in the best way possible. Now, I will say, when we're thinking about the best way, quote unquote, what I'm referring to in this specific episode is actually choosing terms and keywords and blog topics that people are actually searching for. So the example that I used was a pelvic PT example. So it was leaking with exercise and stop leaking with exercise. Both of those terms have 0 searches per month. 0. That means that if you title your blog post and you go after that specific keyword, which by the way is a whole other thing, right? Like the strategy around using a keyword and how to use a keyword and how to come up for it, that's all strategy too. Blogging Bootcamp will talk about it. But if you were to use that keyword, you're essentially, I'm going to use the word wasting your time. You're just not using strategy to actually inform your content. So essentially you're wasting your time and you could do better. And in my mind, I'm like, if I'm going to spend time doing this, I want to make sure that I'm doing it in the best way possible. And also just making sure that I'm not wasting my time because I don't like it. It takes time and I could be doing other things. So for me, it's about maximizing your time, being efficient with this, and understanding that even if you think that your ideal client is searching for a specific thing, oftentimes they're not, or they're using different words. I have so many people who have told me, after Blogging Bootcamp, in Blogging Bootcamp, and also me doing this work, I will type things into Google and, do my research and say, oh my God, I cannot believe that this term is not something people are searching for. And it's problematic in a sense that if we're trying to reach our ideal client and we're not using terms that they're searching for, obviously we're not going to get in front of them. But also, two, our time. Time is money. We're wasting your time. And just a quick switch of those words can make you be seen by Google and your ideal client, because I'm not saying the content is not important. What I'm saying is that how we frame the content, the keyword that we use to title the content, and the keyword that we use throughout the content, and how we really position the content can make you be seen over not being seen and essentially wasting your time. And that's why I was saying, like, Blogging Bootcamp goes through all of this. It goes through every single thing. And this is not meant to be a sales pitch for Blogging Bootcamp. Even though it is, like, I will shamelessly plug it. It's just one of those things where I think people don't understand that I get you. I understand that long form content is not always enjoyable. And also I'm not entirely sure that it's public knowledge, if you will, or common knowledge that what people are searching for is not really what you think. And, the search terms that you can get in front of people with that you didn't know anything about can end up changing who you reach, and you can reach more people and you can get more leads. And if you have an online business, you can get seen to begin with. And if you have a brick and mortar clinic, you might be gaining the trust of Google so that they show you locally more. There's just so many benefits to creating content that people are actually searching for. And it's really honestly the baseline of SEO. And, anybody who has taken SEO school, anybody who has taken blogging bootcamp, they will say to you, yes, like this is how we do it. This is how we do it. And this is how we make a difference. And this is how we actually get shit shown, and Google finds us, and our ideal client finds us. Otherwise, we're kind of just guessing. And, if you're a PT, if you're a chiro, a health and wellness practitioner, you're not trying to guess, right? Ever. I don't feel like any of us are trying to guess. Do we sometimes have to guess because we have tried a lot of things? We're guessing and checking, but realistically, even if you're trying a bunch of different treatments, you know what you're doing. At least I hope so. You try things that make sense for that specific scenario, that specific diagnosis, what's going on with that person, and then you see what works for the person, right? It's the same thing with blogging. We have to actually understand, what are people searching for? What can we create content for? And what can we just essentially do in order to maximize our time and not waste it? Like, time is important. And whether you're spending your time blogging or with your family or treating or it doesn't matter to me. At any given point, we could be doing something else. So when you say yes to blogging, you say yes to creating long form content, and you're creating the space in your schedule to do so, my goal for you is to make it make sense and make it efficient and make it actually have an outcome that you're looking for, not just guessing and hoping, hopes and dreams that you're going to get seen. It's really important to me that, efficiency is at the heart of all of this. And once again, there are people who will say, well, I can't even bring myself to write. Cool. Write about what you care about. Start there. And then when you're ready to really maximize your efficiency, I do recommend checking out Blogging Bootcamp, because you will learn how to do all of this in there. Because like I said before, and like I showed, what people are searching for is oftentimes not what they're searching for. And every single time it does feel a little mind blowing. Like, how are people not searching for this? That's crazy. So that's really all I have for you today. I really wanted to just dive into search terms and what people are searching for and how it's not what we think it is, and how Blogging Bootcamp can help you if you're looking for more knowledge about this. If you don't care, then you don't care. That's fine. If you're not blogging, you don't care. That's also okay. Whatever you want to do. I'm here for autonomy. But that's all I've got for you. I will talk to you next week. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you next time.